listening to Xposed Living, Be Ageless, the podcast where we drop the masks, flip the script, and talk real life, real love, and real leadership unfiltered. I'm Stacey Vanthuyne, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, and founder of the Xposed Living movement that's redefining what it means to live, lead, and grow at any age. We talk identity, reinvention, belief, and freedom from the bedroom to the boardroom. Yes, we go there. This is not about staying young. This is about waking up. So if you're done with the shoulds and craving more fun, more freedom, more truth, more you, then grab your favorite drink, your bestie, maybe your journal. It's time. Let's get exposed. Welcome back to Xposed Living. Today's conversation is about something we don't talk about enough: emotional responsibility, inner freedom, and what it really takes to release the patterns that keep us stuck. My guest today is someone I met through a wealth and leadership environment. She's been a dear friend for over a year and a half. And what struck me the most about Becky isn't necessarily what she does, but how she lives. Becky Rothstein has spent decades helping people release emotional pain, fear, guilt, anger, and the stories that quietly shape their lives, not by fixing people, but by teaching them how to come home to themselves. She's lived through deep physical and emotional suffering, healed herself, and chose to dedicate her life to guiding others through what she calls the power of change. This isn't about bypassing pain. This is about facing it, honestly, responsibly, and with compassion. Becky believes something bold, that no matter your age, your past, or your story, it's always about you. You can understand why I love Becky so much. And today, we're going to expose what that really means. And I got to tell you, Becky's coming all the way in from Israel. So she's asked me, Stacey, sometimes you speak a little bit fast. Can you make sure you slow it down? She's used to the New Yorker accent, and she's like, Canadian accent, what's that? So anyways, I'm excited to talk with Becky. Welcome, Becky. I want to welcome you to Xposed Living.
Wow, Stacey, I love to listen to you, and your energy drives me crazy. Just stay like that. Stay like that. Doesn't matter anything else. Just stay like that. Amazing. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Stacey, for inviting me to this session. Like, from a good point to expose the way that we can laugh and we can go farther up and we can forgive ourselves for all the pain we have created in our lives, and we have, and it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm so grateful you said yes. And Becky, I want to talk about you first, the human before the healer, before the work you do now. Who were you when you were struggling the most? And what was that moment you realized something had to change?
Well, for me, I must say, I grew up in Chile. I speak Spanish. That's my language. And at the age of 11, I contracted polio, poliomyelitis. It was, an epidemic all over the world before the Salk. And I became paralyzed from the morning to the evening, very high fever. I couldn't move. I was 11. And my parents, they never told me, they don't remember what was the medicine they brought from the States, because my father passed away. He had clients there. And the same night, they took out from the vertebra, from the liquid to see what's going on. And it was frightening. I remember, glimpses of I cannot move, somebody sitting all the time with me. And in 3 months, I got the polio on December, and on March I went back to school completely healed, like a miracle. And the doctor said, you are completely okay. But at the same time, the physiotherapist who worked with me was a very young man. I don't remember. I remember, like I said, glimpses where I'm standing and what I'm doing. And he told my parents, although she looks healthy and came back to herself, maybe pregnancies will put heaviness in the lower back, and that's the problem. It started exactly like that. Of course, they never told me, but I started to suffer. We have 4 children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We are very blessed. And after the first pregnancy, I started to suffer from the back, but lower back, everyone suffers from the back. That's the doctor's answer, right? And then it started to get worse, worse, worse. And at the end, I was addicted to painkillers, and the orthopedic world couldn't help me. The one said, you have to do this, the other that, nothing changed. And then I'm a believer. God help me. He presented me with a book, You Can Heal Your Life, of Louise Hay. I'm talking about 1999. I met Louise in the States. And from that moment on, I believed I will heal myself. I don't know how. We never know how. But I was guided. And I went back to the States 3 more times. And then I went to England to learn the coaching process. And I became the only certified teacher to the Louise Hay program in Israel. I work with the world in 3 languages, in Spanish, English, and Hebrew, here in Israel. At the same time, my body, I started to think differently. I started to work with my body with a lot of love, forgiving myself for all the anger I had in me. A woman of 30 years old, when she wakes up in the morning and she doesn't know who will help her. It was terrible. I developed a limp on my right leg. My hip went up. It was really bad. And at those times, there was no operation for the back. Today they have. So at Louise Hay, I cried the whole session with Dr. Patricia Crane, who took all the work. And why was I crying? I had a beautiful growing up in Chile, with my parents, a very loving family. Why was I crying? And slowly, slowly came out, all the pain, and I went through, and I wasn't good at school, and I couldn't learn to write, and I couldn't learn mathematics. And I have a wonderful sister, 1 year older than me, and all the teachers pointing out, why aren't you like her? So I took the place of poor me, poor me, poor me, and it developed in my body, poor me.
Oh,
That
wow.
was the starting point, if you ask me, to change. And since then, I haven't stopped learning how to help myself first.
I didn't know all of that. Thank you for sharing that. Honestly, you gave me the chills when you were saying that, because I think that story is so relatable to so many people, and they don't have that opportunity that you had to find that book. And it is a miracle.
Right. The book, You Can Heal Your Life, gave me the most important thing that I can think about, Stacey, the choice. I can choose to be poor me. I can continue to be in pain instead of going up and say, I am going to help me. And with God's help, I will go out. And I am always saying, Stacey, I am the product of my product. Because if somebody says, no, but when I have headaches, it doesn't work like that, I say, well, you can choose to think this or that, but I know it works.
It's interesting. I always say that quote too that says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Exactly. And you get the how by walking in a new path, remembering that you're going to reach what you want. You are going to. I don't know how long it will take. For me, it took time, but it was okay because I was seeing. Do you know what I was feeling? I was feeling like I can control. I went back to me, to Becky, the young girl who loved not to study, but relationships and boys and girls and enjoy life. And slowly, Louise Hay gave me the possibility to come back to me. I have a beautiful program in my web that it's going back to you with 21 sessions, recorded. And I must say that the choice to go back in me and from there to heal, that produced in the body the big change that I walk straight today.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you think then a lot of it was like the emotions that were inside of you that had to be released out?
I think so, exactly what you're saying, Stacey, because Louise Hay, in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, in the last part, she added the body and mind. Affirmations for every part of your body or whatever you're going through that you can say. But people think, well, I will say 10 times and this will create a change. that's not going to work. You know, you have to really write it, say it, mirror work. And yes, it's possible.
It's a practice, right? I mean, it did like, I love what you're saying with things is like, you have to override it and believe it. You can't just say it. And I think so. Exposed living is a lot with Gen X people. And I think that we were taught a lot of things to like get the check marks. And so we don't realize that even with some of these things, when it comes to healing, we're like, well, I did that, so it should work. And if it didn't get that check mark, then it doesn't work, or we give up so easy. And what I'm hearing from you is that it's more than just doing things for a check mark.
Right, right. It's taking a new approach about your physical and emotional world, mind and body, and understanding that when you change this part of the thinking and feeling, the body is the one who gets, you know, this work that you are investing in you, and it brings up, it shows you, it works.
Mm-hmm. You know, I remember when I was first got into this work as well, that, you know, a lot of people say, just be your authentic self. Just be your authentic self. And I remember,
so easy.
right. And because I was like, well, who the hell is she? Like, I'm this person for this and this person for that. Like, what does that really mean? And, you know, when you were responding earlier, you said you went back to the little girl that loved. And I think that's really where authenticity starts. And we don't even realize that we lose some of that playfulness as we get older. So can you help like people understand of what does that mean, getting back to yourself?
Well, you know, I have this mirror with me always, okay? Always, always, always. And the mirror is here in order to remind me from where I come, where I'm going. And I think that from where I come, this little girl in me that went through so much, like you, like all of us, so much. Mm-hmm. If we would sit down and just look at what, you know, the kilometers of life that we have done, doesn't matter which age you are.
Yeah.
And just forgiving ourselves. People say, why do I need to forgive? Because we attract without knowing. When we're children, we don't know that we attract. But the feelings are creating.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings are creating. And we attract with the law of attraction, with the law of cause and effect. We attract that what we need in order to grow. And a client of me today said to me, did I attract that my husband had to go for 3 months to the army? You know, here in Israel, we had the war and all that never ends. And I said to her, you know, it's not that you attract that he has to go, but we attract to feel bad, to feel poor me. That's what we attract. It doesn't matter how or with what experience. The poor me is what created my deepest pain. And the wonderful me was the healing.
Oh my goodness. You know, I think it's, honestly, Becky, give me the shivers. We live in such a victim world.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I think it if we're not aware of it, it just becomes what everybody does. And we always want to blame outside of ourselves, or that it couldn't be possibly me. I'll take credit when it's good, but if the stuff that's coming in isn't great, then it's somebody else's fault.
Right, right. And the problem is that it never ends, because always we are going through challenges, experiences, and we blame others, so we lose the control. We cannot change.
Mm-hmm.
You know why we say they are to blame? Because I hear it in my coaching room. So I am guilty? We are not guilty. We are alive, and we have experiences, and they include problems. That's life, right? We know. We don't want to tell stories. You say 15 times this. There are coaches that they say, you know, you say this 15 times, you will change your life. It's not true. It's not true. If you don't feel it, if you don't believe it, it won't happen.
Right.
Right? Like you said before, if you believe it's true, it's true. If you don't believe it's true, it's not true for you. That's it.
It's interesting because I really been reflecting this last year around, what is my intention as we move into 2026? And for me, I realized that there was this element of belief and faith because I've believed certain things have gotten me to this level, but in order to get to a next level, it's about deepening that awareness and belief and faith to me. And I think we live in a world that is like, once I see evidence of it, then I will believe it. But yet, in order to see that evidence, we need to believe it first. Like, it's not faith when you can see it, faith is in the unseen.
Right. You're so right. You're so right. You know, when you think like that, what you share now, it's so important. I would add what Louisa told me 26 years ago, and it's so strong in me. And she always said, you have to love yourself, to approve of who you are in the moment, and to accept of who you are in the moment. But people fight themselves.
Yeah.
Themselves. So when we relax and we say, okay, that's what's now. How can I make it better? I can do it because I'm responsible. I'm taking responsibility, no guilt, no blame. But saying to yourself every morning, I love you. My dear you, I love you. Or to put your hands like that, like when you're a little child, when we put the hands and it's such a good feeling when a loved one put the hands like that in me. Why can't I do it for myself? You know what a feeling that is? And that's what we need. That's what we need. We need to feel good with ourselves, in our body, with our minds, and making it better and better. You know what I decided for the 2026? I really want to feel free. We were talking about this, to feel free. That's so important. And to feel free is choice. And we have a choice how to look at life. If we look and we say it's terrible, change your glasses you're looking through, your perception.
Yeah.
Make it loving, make it lovable. It's possible. And everything changes.
When you're talking about love, I've been reading over the holidays, The Divine Law of Compensation and from the Course of Miracles.
Yes.
And how it was saying that, anything that's not love is an illusion. And
Yes.
basically, love is the only one truth. And everything separate from that is like this illusion. And so I know you have something to say, and I want you to kind of dive in to help people because I don't think that, like, kind of back to what you were saying, we don't always embrace that part because we get so focused on the challenges, not recognizing that those challenges are happening for us to grow, to love ourselves more, not to like a punishment from God or anything like this. He would never punish us like that.
He's love.
It's love.
He's love. So when we connect through our love with his love, everything works out.
It's so beautiful. You wrote a book and it's called Always About You. That can feel like confronting for people because I think people are afraid sometimes about themselves. Or, when you talk about that mirror, to actually be able to look eye to eye with themselves. What do you really mean? Or how can people get over that so they can come back to that always about you and take responsibility? It's always about you. Thank you.
Always about you.
It's always about you.
Yes.
How can people, take that responsibility that you talk about to actually free themselves from blaming others or themselves?
Thank you for the question because we wrote the book with Ginat Rice and she is a macrobiotic. She wrote books, American woman, very good friend of mine. She has been in my courses and certified teacher of the Louisa program. And one day she called me and she said, I am in a vacation by the sea. I woke up in the 11 o'clock in the night. I look at the sea and I said, God, I want to write a book with Becky. And when she said that, I said in the moment, agreed, because I know how to talk and express, not to write. That was my problem, you remember, writing. So So we started the work, and it took us like 2 years because we really exposed ourselves to the work, first of ourselves, and then the coach sessions that I have given for these years, different topics, relationships and wealth and health. And one morning I woke up and I said, the name is going to be It's Always About You. But listen to my voice. It's always about you, so you can take control. You can heal yourself. I come from love. It's not, it's always about you. No, it's always about you, because if I give the control to another person like I did, I read my stomach with a tablet. I had migraines that it were terrible in my head. I had to close everything and be quiet, the children quiet. I couldn't leave the children. So I know when I say it's about you, it means love yourself. Doesn't matter what's happening. And if you read the subtitle, I said, be your own coach. When you go to a coach, be your own coach before that, and you are going to be so prepared to be helped. That's a be your own coach. And I give their sessions. Of course, I changed the names and all that. I give their sessions where in everyone, it's just a short paragraph on the other side, a positive phrase to go with it, and then down the call to action, CTA, for every page, because if we don't take an action, nothing will change.
This is it. I think that this is where we, as we get older, we know more and we do less, and then we get more frustrated with it, not realizing knowing is not enough. I know we both studied Bob Proctor, and I remember Bob one time saying, if it was just about knowing things, librarians would be the richest people in the world.
Of course.
And I always kind of laughed about that. And I'm curious to get your thoughts, Becky. Why do so many people say they want change, but they keep repeating the same emotional patterns?
Because they want change, but they don't want to change. They want the change outside, the results.
Right.
Okay? That's so clear. They want change. They want a good relationship with a husband or with a friend. They want a good energy to feel great. They want change for sure. Here, out of me. But to change me, to go inside with a lot of love, a lot of support. What does it mean to love yourself? People ask me, what is this idea of loving yourself? It's not ego mind. It's stop frightening you. Stop blaming you. Stop criticizing you. That's loving the self, because we are the children of God, and God is only good. So we deserve to be loved. But we have to start first to love ourselves in order to attract that energy.
So if somebody's finding themselves and listening to you saying, oh my God, I do that. I do blame myself. I do like this. What would you tell them? Like, what are some practical things that they could do to start loving themselves more?
What I did, because I blame myself for everything. So what I did is I decided to let go the need in me. Listen what I'm saying. I'm letting go the need in me for criticizing, for judging, for blame. Why the need in me? Because it helped me to survive my problems. But today I don't need that anymore. And if you want to really make it stronger, you tap, this is the chakra of change and the blue chakra, and you tap here lightly and you say, I'm willing to let go the need in me now. I don't know how, but I have to make a manifestation that I'm willing to, and you will get the help.
And if you're listening to this right now, because I know this will be on YouTube, but also on Spotify, when she's talking about the chakra, she's touching her throat, throat chakra to release it, right?
Yes.
And did you find, you mentioned when you were releasing, like the tears were coming and the crying and things, and I've noticed a lot. Last year, I cried a lot. When I was in Thailand, I couldn't stop crying. And instantly, as soon as you cry, people, you notice, will always give you a Kleenex box. Right? And I was like, no, I want this to come out. But it wasn't that it honestly makes other people around you, I think, uncomfortable. Because it's almost this perception we have in society that there's got to be something wrong to cry. And yet for me, it was because it was so right. It was like love that was coming over me, that was overflowing me to make me emotionally, like it was releasing it for me.
But you see, when we study, we understand that the crying, they have two possibilities of why I'm doing that. So
Right.
one is like you are expressing, to let out all that and from, wow, amazing, and I'm changing, and I'm in gratitude, and I'm emotional. But there is also a crying for poor me. And people don't feel very, very good with this crying, the poor me. So they give you a tissue in order to just stop. And it's so hard. I'm creating now a webinar, but it's in Hebrew, about the self-esteem of a mother. Because the self-esteem of the mother gives confidence to the child. But if they say, don't cry, doesn't hurt. Don't cry, it's not so bad. Don't cry. The child, the subconscious is open and it becomes his belief. He's not allowed to cry.
Yes.
That's so bad. Expressing emotions, right?
Yeah. Like, can you go in? Like, I want to talk about that for a little bit. So, like, share with people, because I think that we don't even realize that we're doing it. Like, we come from love in those situations, right? We're like, it's okay. You don't need to cry. And then, not like to your point, they grow up thinking that crying is weak or that being vulnerable is a bad thing.
Right.
I mean, that was me. And it's still something I know that I overcoming, is that I would love to be called strong and courageous, but if somebody called me vulnerable or something, it was almost like I was weak. But now I realize, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, is that there is no strength or courage without being vulnerable and really taking that step.
Right, right. And when we teach our children that it's not good to share the emotions, don't cry about this is not so bad or whatever, they learn. They are not supposed to show their emotions. And that's really no good. Because then the person becomes an adult, close, especially men, that it's for them sometimes more difficult to express love to his wife, love to the children, love to the loved one. So sharing emotions is a beautiful thing. And I'm allowed to feel, today with a low energy. That's okay. That's okay. Every time I feel low, I remember Bob Proctor and Arash, after that comes the rising,
That's right.
And yes, and in my website it says rise, shine, because that's so important to leave every person with such a good feeling. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say that I feel really bad today. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like the tide coming in and the tide coming out, right? The law.
Exactly, all the time. And the lower you go, the higher you will rise. Okay.
Becky, you work with people across ages and cultures, like you've said, from Hebrew to English to Spanish.
Yes.
And it's amazing. In your experience, what do people over 40 often realize too late? And how can they change that now?
What do they mean too late?
Like what do you find, like some people may realize too late, or they get older and you wish, like if you were to give them a tip or something?
I understand. Usually when they come to the coach room, they say, I want to go back. I would like to be 18 years old. And I say, do you really want to go through all what you went? No. That's the answer. That's the answer. Create now the life that you want and be in gratitude, because all the pain brought you to here to realize that you can take control of your life. So it doesn't matter the age. I'm not 40 years old and I have so much energy, you know?
Do.
So yes, I feel it because I work every day, we work on ourselves every day in order to bring this attitude, this energy, these feelings in order to help others. This is my mission in life and yours too. So I know to help people in a simple way, in a clear way. It's not hard, just to have to be committed. You have to commit yourself.
I'm so grateful we had this conversation. I love it so much. I could talk to you about, well, we'll do another show again with you
Okay.
because you just have so much wisdom to tap into. But I would be remiss if I didn't challenge you a little bit with my 5 ageless questions
Okay.
to put you
Go,
on the
go
spot.
forward. Yes.
All right. Becky, share with us one habit you practice now that keeps you grounded.
Okay. I walk every morning for 45 minutes and I talk to God and I
Mm.
tell him and I ask him. That's what I do. That's a very beautiful habit. Now you will ask me which habit you want to let go.
Sure, let's do it. What's the one habit that you do that you wish that you're done
Um,
with, that you're
I'm
working
working.
on overcoming?
Yes, I'm working very hard on not being attached to results because it puts me really down when I do something and I invest something and then I see the result. It really gives me, this bad feeling. I'm learning now to stop and say, Becky, the results are only to show you where you have to invest more or maybe study more or exercise more, nothing else. So I'm working on that because the results connect myself to fears, old fears, and I don't want to be there. So this is the habit I'm creating now. Mhm.
Oh, that is an episode in itself, Becky.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
maybe I'm going to pause there for a second because you have a lot of wisdom in there. And I want people who are probably listening going, what is she talking about? Like, doesn't the results show me? And I think this is, again, where we start to blame ourselves or think that we're not good enough because we're judging ourselves on the results and not able to look at them neutrally.
Exactly what you said. Although you say it very quickly in your English. But I was running after you. Yes, yes, my dear Stacy. It's so true. It's so true. The results are not there to control our emotional world. Really not. And most of us, we learned through school, going, to school and the teachers and the parents sometimes and say, look at the notes. Look what you achieved. You have to invest more. You have to do more. You should. The should. Louise A works with the should to could. It's amazing. It frees you.
Yeah.
Really, you feel free. No shoulds. You have choice.
Yeah, I love that. I love moving the should to the could and the this happening to versus for me. Like
Yes.
that little shift as well, right?
Right, right, right.
Becky, what are you most excited about as we step into 2026?
Oh, what excites me, it's the freedom.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I mean, the freedom that allows me, if I want today to pause and do nothing, just sitting on the balcony with a book. I know I won't
Mm.
be there for long because I love to work and it's a passion and I'm very active. At the same time, the freedom that I can choose. And that's
Mm.
really, really important for me. Very
That-
excited about it to work on that.
Oh, so good. Becky, this conversation reminds us that freedom isn't about fixing the world. It's about freeing ourselves from what we carry. If someone is listening right now and feels stuck or they feel heavy or quietly exhausted, what's one place you'd invite them to start?
I would say breathing. Breathing for me does it immediately. Louise A would say every 3 hours, stop. What are you feeling? When you find what you're feeling, you know you're thinking in the wrong way. So the breathing in and breathing out, just be very conscious, would really release stress immediately. And for me, the walking outside, I walk out at 5:30 in the morning and it's beautiful,
Mm,
beautiful.
I love it. And for those who want to explore your work or your book, It's Always About You, or learn how emotional release can change our lives, where can they find you? How do they get more Becky into their lives?
First of all, my email is Becky Rothstein Coaching at gmail.com, Becky Rothstein Coaching. And the same name, instead of at gmail.com, it's .com. So the website. And there is a place where you click and you can make a session, a free session for half an hour with me in order for me to help you.
Amazing. And we'll make sure that we put all of that in the show notes. So if you're unsure of the spelling, just come check us out. We've got it all listed for Becky. And I just want to thank you, Becky, for bringing this depth, the wisdom that you bring, the honesty and grounded strength into this exposed living space. This is the work both Becky and I care so much about, the kind that doesn't perform transformation, but it lives it. This is responsibility, as Becky articulated so well, taking ownership of who you're becoming. It's freedom, choosing alignment over approval. I mean, we know we've all been there before, and this is Exposed Living. Be ageless. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and I can't wait to see you next week. Be bold, be brave, and stay exposed.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for today's episode of Exposed Living, Be Ageless. But this is just the beginning. If this episode made you feel something, share it. Tag me. Send it to a friend. Let's start the conversation we can be having all along. No shame, no guilt. Unfiltered, raw, real, exposed. And if you're ready to go deeper, join us inside the Exposed Living Facebook community, where we take this work off the podcast and into real life. Know this, your change starts when your excuses die. Because this life, this one wild, ageless, unforgettable life is waiting on you. This is your time. This is your truth. This is Exposed Living.